Hi, good afternoon. Today is Monday, May 8th. Juba in the spotlight, ongoing turmoil in the world's youngest capital. On year into South Sudan's new transition government, Juba is still struggling to cope with insecurity, poverty, and conflict. The world's youngest capital city has little to celebrate on the first anniversary of the formation of its country transition government, established on 29 April 2016 and led by President Salva Kiir. South Sudan's government was conceived as part of the solution to a seemingly irresolvable three-year civil war. But less than 3 months after the announcement, renewed fighting between warring factions broke out in Juba, killing more than 300 people, displacing tens of thousands and throwing the city and the country into an ongoing state of unrest. The anniversary is a disappointment. 3 months after the formation of the government, there was war. You don't expect people to be elated, said one Juba resident who asked for anonymity. A year after that should have ushered South Sudan into a state of tranquility. Insecurity continues to reign over the capital and its 370,000 inhabitants. Juba in numbers. 2,000 Greek expatriates lived in Juba. In the early 1920s, they were primarily merchants tasked with supplying the British Army. 14 or under, the age group of almost half of the Juba's population, with only 3% over the age of the 65 according to World Vision. 260,280 households in Juba are estimated to be food insecure. This means that people don't have reliable access to enough nutritious food. 135 pupils can be found in one classroom in some of Juba's government-run schools. Overcrowding is a major issue when it comes to education. 50 the temperature in centigrade reached in Juba, turning the Nile River into a popular destination of cooling off. 191. The present percentage rise in the price of the most important staple cereal in South Sudan. Such hyperinflation is eroding the purchasing power of households, and many households are no longer able to meet their basic food needs, say World Food Program Country Director Joyce Luna. And pictures. History in 100 words. Situated west of the White Nile, Juba was first conceived as a permanent station for Christian missionaries in 1920 and quickly became an administrative and commercial center for the region. One account claims the city gained its name from the land's original village chief, Juba, whose people were relocated to make space for modern-day Juba. Between the early 20th century and Sudan's independence in 1956, Juba was under British rule and home to North and South Sudanese as well as Greeks, Armenian and Lebanese. The mid-20th century brought about two devastating civil wars between Juba and Sudan's central government in Khartoum. The violence came to an end in 2005 and was followed by the independence of South Sudan in 2011, making Juba the newest capital in the world. Juba in sound and vision. Hip-hop artist Asif dedicates one of his songs to Juba's bustling hub, Konyo market, where people can buy vegetable, fruits, spice, clothes, and household items. But the market has a much darker side. It's notorious for child exploitations, child labor, and prostitution. What's everyone talking about? Malnutrition and the chronic hunger are a common reality in the capital city of the country, where some 4.9 million civilians are food insecure. Beginning is coming off the street, and children are often visible malnourished. Father of four, Remigio Patrick, 30, said he doesn't know how to explain to his children why there is no food in the house. We don't eat in the mornings or the nights. It's difficult for me to explain. The food security and nutrition situation has further deteriorated since September 2016. Most of the basic commodities are imported into South Sudan, and therefore the exchange rates change signify a change in prices and the purchasing power, explaining the Luma. According to World Vision's Juba Urban Analysis and the Overview report, some of the city's households help each other by creating community groups to identify and carry out purchases from markets that sell items at the lower prices. What's next for the city? There is a chance that Juba may lose its prestigious status as capital of South Sudan, as talks of recollecting the country's hub 130 miles north to Ransel persist. Critics say that the costly venture is ludicrous and the traditional government should first focus on fixing other pressing issues, including supplying Juba residents with basic services like electricity, tarmac roads, and clinics. After a war, when citizens are dying for hunger, how dare the government talk about moving the capital? Asked the Juba resident, who asked to remain anonymous. The idea was first mentioned in 2011, soon after the South gaining its independence, but the culmination of the project is not due to take place until 2019. There are many skeptics. Close Zoom. Few newspapers reach rural areas in South Sudan, and the literacy rates are low, making radio the most widely used source of information. United Nations founded Radio Miraya is based in Juba and has the widest reach of any FM radio in the country, with regular news bulletins in English and Arabic. Yeah, it's a great problem in South Sudan. It's the youngest country in the world. Juba is the youngest capital in the world, but the situation in South Sudan is tragical, is terrible. I saw yesterday one report on the Brazilian TV about the situation in South Sudan, and many people cross the border South Sudan in Uganda. Every day 3,000 people cross the border and run away to the war, the civil war in South Sudan, seek the food, water, the other new life. But the situation in Uganda is complicated because Uganda is the nation way poor nation, and Uganda opening his border. Uganda is trying to help these people. Is interesting because many countries in Europe, is the rich countries, is closing the border for the ten of thousands of the immigrant, and in Africa, in the example, Uganda is trying to help his I think so, help his brothers and sisters. No, is interesting this difference because many countries in the world, and of course in Europe, is can to receive many people in this situation, the war, but the European countries prefer to close their borders. Don't want to help anybody. And in Africa, Uganda and other countries in the same region is doing the is trying to help these people, the South Sudan or the Central African Central Republican, because the other civil war. So it will be the seven rich countries in the world don't want to see the situation in Africa or situation in Syria or the other different countries, the poor countries in the world, is a different war. Which will be these rich countries don't want to help these people. Man, we are human beings. Okay, each person living in different countries. Okay, it's the different country, different culture, and different history. Yeah, but we are the human race, human beings. So why the United Nations, okay, is trying to help this different situation in the world, but the rich countries, France, Germany, United Kingdom, United States, Canada, and other countries, Japan. Why this country doesn't try to help these people in the Syria, South Sudan? South Sudan is very sad because after many years, the civil war inside the Sudan, before they separate, after they separate, now is a civil war in the South Sudan. But I want to to remember this part. This situation is in Africa. Africa is forgotten for the world. The Europe and the West world prefer to close the eyes to Africans' problems. Yeah, because this problem is the civil war. If you were in the Europe, in the European country, or I don't know, in the West country, this situation, this vision, maybe it would be different. But is in Africa, is in the poor countries, okay. Example, the last year, some months ago, during the terrorism attack in France, during many days, I listened, I read about this attack in Europe. Okay, it's tragic, it's terrible, of course, but in the same moment in the Africa, in the civil war in Sudan, South Sudan, or there in Nigeria is the Boko Haram terrorism group. But no, I couldn't to find news about this problem in Africa. It's sad, because in my opinion, the human life is equal. My life is the same as the African life, is the same as the Asian life, is the European life, is equal, because we are the human rights. No? So my life is the same as the other lives. But it's sad to find or to watch on TV. You can to listen about one rich country, but the other situation, the other poor world is forgotten. This is terrible. I don't have word to explain my not angry, but my disappointment about this world in right now. Because the world right now wants to think about money, and he prefer to forget the other people, the other countries, and the other problems. Remember that in Africa, the great problem in Africa is a result to exploration of the European countries. Is a heritage to European countries. Is a situation in Africa, and I think human rights began in Africa. God, other and universal energy, please help the people in the world, mainly to people in Africa. I would like to help these different countries, different problems in the Africa or the Asia or in the other place. I would like, but I think if I make this video, I take my I can't to read about one true news in the same is the Guardian. I talk about my opinion. I think I am helping my way these people, but I would like to do more for the world. Thank you very much to watch my new video. If you want to learn English or talk with me in English, come here at class for class Javas, or we can to do class by Skype anywhere in the world. Share this video with your family, friends, enemies, everybody. Give a like on my YouTube page. I want to reach to achieve 200 likes on my page. So help me please, and subscribe on my YouTube channel. On my YouTube channel, you can to find other videos in other languages: Italian, Spanish, in Brazilian Portuguese, and in Spanish, in English. Comment my other videos, share my other videos, give a like on my videos. For me is my great motivation. Subscribe it, please subscribe on my channel. Okay, this is very important for me. Okay, you can to help me if your subscription. Thank you very much. See you tomorrow with the other interesting news. Have a nice Monday, or the Monday afternoon, or this Tuesday if you are watching this video right now. Thank you very much, my friends. I send greetings or the best regards to every people in the world, mainly to Anglo speakers. Okay, thank you very much, my friends. See you tomorrow. Bye.